So today is our review day, right? Okay. What I have here is the test descriptions. We'll take a minute and talk about the test format. What you're looking at is also on your OneNote, so you don't need to necessarily write it down unless you want to, which is fine. After we talk about the test format, I'll take questions from you guys, homework questions, review questions, whatever. And then I'll let you guys spend the rest of your time today in class working on whatever you need to. Reminder, if you want to use the half sheet of notes on your test, you got to have that in to me by the end of the hour, preferably.
Is our test?
The test would be next class, yes. Okay.
Is it Thursday and Wednesday? No.
Because our test is on Wednesday.
Is Thursday and Wednesday?
I don't know offhand. I can check, but I'm going to worry about this other stuff first, I think. Okay? All right. So test description, we're going to have 4 questions converting between radians and degrees or vice versa, like we did on the homework quiz. You'll have 2 questions where you have to use the arc length formula. So that's that S equals R theta, if theta's in radians, and then the other version if it's in degrees. 2 questions where you're going to be using a right triangle to write the 6 trig ratios. 2 questions where I give you a trig ratio and ask you to write the other 6, or the other 5, I guess that should say. I'll have 1 question where I ask you to write the 6 trig ratios using a point on the terminal side of a standard position angle. And then 1 question where I ask you to find the exact value for a trig ratio given info on some of the other ratios. So that's like the question 59 and 60 from the homework, I think. And then 2 questions where I ask you to use the unit circle to evaluate a trig expression.
Simple stuff. I like it.
It's pretty narrow. Take a minute here and talk about stuff you'd certainly want to have on your equation sheet, right? On your notes. I would definitely want the conversion factor between radians and degrees, so I know which one to use going which direction. I'd certainly want the 2 arc length formulas, detailing like what the letters mean in the formula, so I'm able to put the right numbers in the right spots. I'd certainly want our 3 different definitions for sine, cosine, and tangent. So the SOHCAHTOA definition, the right triangle definition. I'd want the point on the terminal side of a standard position angle definition. And I'd want the unit circle definition so that I could use, depending on the problem, I could use any one of those definitions. You'll need to have all of them. Okay with that? That's at the minimum what I'd want on there. And then if you want examples of stuff, that's up to you. But like, you for sure want that information on there. You'll get a copy of the unit circle. You don't have to include that. But you do need to know how to use the unit circle, right? Question about test format or anything? Okay. Specific questions from homeworks or the review or wherever.
Can you do an example on how you use the arc length?
So like,
First one from the.
So like you could, like number 13.
Yeah.
So first thing I'm going to do is look at what unit theta is given in. Since it's in radians, I'm going to use the radian version. So we're told that we don't know what S is. We're told R is 1.2 and theta is 2.1. So I just plug it into the formula and type that into my calculator and bingo, bango, bongo, we're donezos.
How do you find the data? Number 16.
Okay,
Oh, that's easy.
sure. So here we're not told what unit theta's in. So guess what? Doesn't matter which formula I use, unless the directions ask for theta in a certain unit. So I would just use the radian version because, well, the formula is simpler. So then I just divide by 1.7. And my answer's in radians rather than degrees, but that's fine. Does that feel okay? So again, the key for you guys is you want to make sure you have the arc length formulas so that test time, and then certainly you need to know what the letters mean, right?
Yeah.
With any kind of formula like that, you need to make sure you know what the letters are, because it doesn't do you a lot of good to have the formula if you don't know what to plug in where, right? Okay. Any other questions? If you change your mind, you can always come up and talk to me. I'm just going to be up here like doing my work on stuff. But if you have questions, if anything comes up, feel free to come on up and ask. Okay? Otherwise, I'm going to get out of your hair and let you guys get to work.